There are few acts in live music more iconic than the destruction of a musical instrument on stage. This dramatic act has long stood at the crossroads of rebellion, performance art, and raw emotion. The smashing of instruments has symbolized everything from anti-establishment sentiment to personal catharsis. But what's the story behind this phenomenon? The modern history of instrument destruction arguably begins in the 1960s with Pete Townshend of The Who. Known for his windmill guitar moves and wild stage presence, Townshend first broke his guitar accidentally at a London club in 1964. Instead of embarrassment, the moment drew raucous applause, so he turned it into a recurring act. Townshend later explained that this was inspired by autodestructive art, a movement led by German artist Gustav Metzger, who saw destruction as a legitimate artistic method. For Townshend, smashing a guitar wasn't just shock value, it was a statement about the impermanence of creation and the chaotic energy of youth culture. No conversation about instrument destruction is complete without Jimi Hendrix, who turned the act into something spiritual. At the Monterey Pop Festival in 1967, Hendrix set his guitar on fire before smashing it to pieces. The moment was electric, almost mythological. Hendrix described the act as a sacrifice. In a genre saturated with masculinity and volume, Hendrix's performance fused shamanism, soul, and self-expression. For him, destruction wasn't just rebellion, it was transcendence, as if he was offering his art to a higher power. By the 1990s, grunge picked up the tradition and injected it with the angst of a disillusioned generation. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana made a habit of violently demolishing his guitars on stage, especially in their early years. For Cobain, the act seemed to be a genuine release of emotion, a visible manifestation of inner turmoil rather than a performance stunt. Following that wave came Mike McCready, lead guitarist of Pearl Jam, another key figure in the Seattle grunge movement. Though McCready wasn't known for frequent gear smashing, one particularly famous moment came during Pearl Jam's performance at the 1992 Pink Pop Festival in the Netherlands. The latest one was in 2022 at Pearl Jam's European tour in Amsterdam. Caught up in the energy of the crowd and the intensity of the performance, McCready slammed his Fender Stratocaster to the ground, smashing it apart in a display of pure adrenaline and catharsis. At its core, the destruction of musical instruments is about expression. For some, breaking a guitar is the only way to cut through the noise. And in that moment, surrounded by splinters and sound, the message is clear. Art doesn't always have to be preserved. Sometimes it needs to be shattered.